Hello everybody, it's Steve with Real Progressives, and everybody else is enjoying the lunch break here in Washington, D.C. And I figured I'd take a moment to live stream about something that's been really on my heart of late, and that is this concept of lesser evil voting, lesser evil thinking, lesser evil this, lesser evil that. Wouldn't it be wonderful if people just talked about the facts, talked about truth, talked about what they really want, as opposed to comparing it against more evil? Instead of saying, well, that guy over there is a real SOB, so we'll go ahead and accept, this neoliberal crap, or we'll go ahead and accept this or that. What if we decided as a nation, as a movement, that we were no longer going to talk in terms of lesser evil, but we were going to talk instead about what it is that we actually want? What if instead of focusing on somehow or another not quite making the grade versus really missing the mark, what if we talked about exactly and very specifically what it is that we want? I think that right there is what is going to take progressives to the next level. I think that right there is what's going to take our movement to the next level, because people will know that if they don't hit that mark, if that mark is not where they're at, then they're not in line with us. They're not in line with where we're trying to get to. So I've seen it repeatedly where people immediately start from who the other guy is. They look immediately at who the opposition is, and they immediately just accept on face value that this person by identity is a lesser evil. And that's not just at a political level. That right there is talking about the entire choice space that we have on issues in terms of how we view the world. We stopped asking, what is it we really want? And we've instead focused largely on what it is that is the worst of our choices. So I have come to find and come to believe that Democrats are as useless as a wet piece of toilet paper when it comes to actually getting to the point of actually driving towards the issue. Because right now, let's look at that for a minute. They said to themselves, hey, Obamacare will get us where we want to get to in terms of, hey, now all of a sudden we'll get rid of the pre-existing condition clause. Hey, now all of a sudden as a contractor, you'll be able to port your affordable care elsewhere. So all of a sudden now, the Democrats have patted themselves on the back, saying that they have solved the healthcare crisis. But that couldn't be any further from the truth. So now we're stuck with this horrific lesser evil. This law that doesn't help any of us, really, in any meaningful way. It's really lipstick on a pig. And now we're not allowed to challenge that. Now we're not allowed to talk about that, because if we do, we're now hurting precious Obama's legacy, right? So how is it that we get stuck in these completely untenable situations? It's that lesser evil, isn't it? It's that lesser evil. You wanted single payer. You demanded single payer. You demanded a public option. Joseph I. Lieberman and the rest of the gang and Obama took that sucker off the table. That's what you demanded. You demanded a public option, and did you get it? No, you did not get it. You did not get it, did you? And why is that? Is it because the Republicans stood against it? They stood against the entire freaking bill. They stood against the ACA from start to finish. They're still fighting against the ACA even to this day. So what is it exactly that we were losing? Was it Republicans that we were worried about? No, it was Democrats. Once again, it was Democrats that stood in the way of what it was that we demanded. They stood in the way. So as you sit there and you consider what is a lesser evil, don't even flick deal with that. Focus on what it is that you want and demand it. Demand it. Demand it, or you won't get it. You'll get some bullshit watered down lesser evil. And that doesn't do any of us any good, because now the worthless vote blues, worthless vote blues, have basically said it's too much to talk about. We can't even talk about it. And now we're stuck with Donald Trump. And so these issues are going to be redone red state values. They're going to be done the red state way. So not only didn't you get what you wanted to start with, you got this horrible, deformed, non-functional bill. And now you're going to even have that ripped apart possibly by the red state that would have fought it no matter what you put forward. Just remember this, folks. Do not allow yourself to be swept away on any issue, on any candidate, on anything where you are just falling in line. Because the ACA is what you get with that. Donald Trump is what you get with that. This is why it is so important for progressives to remain the true north, that compass of political truth. Because we don't stay the course, if we don't stand committed to what the true ask is, we're going to get this garbage. And folks, make no mistake about it, it's garbage. It's garbage. So with that, I'm Steve with Real Progressives. I'll be back in later. Have a great day, everybody.